Hey, it's that guy who occasionally does videos about Japan. It's Mike Krow. Mike Krow desu. What if I told you that in the future the world would become so advanced that TVs would be inside of TVs? Now what if I told you the past is the future and the future is analog and the present is half a can of root beer on a lonely Friday night? Is it getting too real for you? The future is real. Like reality, you dummy. This chair was broken by reality, but also by an unfortunate sitting accident. But enough about chairs. We're here to talk about the reason you sit in them. TVs. A long time ago, TVs became so powerful in Japan that they began to have TVs inside TVs. We called this phenomenon TV's TV. Well, not really. It was actually just a TV show. Let's have a little taste, shall we? TV's TV was originally shown on Fuji Television in 1987. I was unable to find the exact date and time, but it appears to have been on the early hours of March 13th to March 14th, from like 1:55 a.m. to 5:55 a.m. If you know if this was a one-night show or something done every day, I'd like to know, but as far as I can tell, it looks like just to have been a one-off event. A lot like getting poked on Facebook in 2021. I've seen some articles that say the videos were shown randomly, and others that are saying they were shown in order, so I'm not sure which is which. At a glance, TV's TV looks like a basic playlist of various interesting videos, but there's a little more thought in the basis of the show. According to a 2013 article written by Shinji Fukuhara, one of the producers on the show, a certain Mr. Tsunekazu Ishihara, aka the current day CEO of the Pokemon Company, was a big fan of gaming and computers. He would often show Mr. Fukuhara his Amiga, Apple II, and Mac games, and they later realized that TV was not just for TV shows and videos, but could be something much more. It could be used in a variety of things: music videos, video gaming, tech demos, and to quote him, in other words, the era of TV as a window to view more than just TV had arrived. The show was unique in that it featured multiple windows on the screen, but it actually had inspiration from a show that aired not that long ago before it, a lecture series featuring Akira Asada, a postmodern critic and curator, a show that was, quite possibly, the first multi-windowed show in Japan. When Asada told me he wanted more windows, I said, "But you already have a corner office." Little did we know we'd go on to create the beginning of the destruction of all attention spans. But that's good business. That's good business. You had gameplay, nature videos, newscasts from outside of Japan, art videos, tech demos, and this newfangled thing called CG. There were 100 TVs in the TV that would play one after another. Some would have a title card giving extra information to the viewer, as well as the playtime, which was often accompanied by a strange babbling TV. Actually, the first video was a weather report from Taiwan. To be honest, I don't know what she's saying, but the graphics were pretty cool and I'm getting excited for the weekend. I mean, who doesn't want to see a flying pancreas? After each video would play, the next one in line would be chosen, and some very nerve-wracking music would play. And I must say, there's something interesting about the music for this series. It really seems to change and morph as time goes on. New sounds are added and they get creepier. I guess it's so when you're up late at night slurping on your Keating, it helps to increase the creepy factor enough to enjoy the alien voice and robotic thumping of the Jarvik 7 artificial heart demonstration.
Cardiomyopathy. I had never heard.
Although there are different video types, the main focus was to show games. You can see that as they make up the majority of the videos. Of the 100 shown, from a quick count about 42 were gameplay videos. There are over 4 hours of videos and I watched all that I could find, so here's some highlights. Number 84, diving into a fractal butt crack. Mindwalker, which looks like a game made for creepypasta. Even the Amiga juggler makes an appearance. Something you really can't watch in public. Thanks Mitsubishi. Tony DePeltry, which cost $1 million to produce.
It's got a great character in it. It tells a story. It's emotional. It makes you relate to the person on the screen.
Yes, we all relate to having a ball sack as a chin, and having cheeks so full it would give a hamster a run for its money. Some summer fish. My favorite was an experimental series by AV Syndrome Jiko Shindan Softo, or AV Syndrome Self-Check System, which was oddly called TV Syndrome Self-Check Soft on the title graphics. But on second thought, the whole AV part might have something to do with it. Boobs. There were a total of 9 of these videos, and I'll just point out a few I found interesting. Number 14 had some interesting editing, and the music is pretty much proto-vaporwave. Number 34 was a relatable modern problem.
Oh!
54, titled I Like to Play Alone, was my favorite. These experimental video projects are really cool and made me wonder who the group was behind it. So much so that I attempted to contact one of the creators on Twitter, Shinji Fukuhara. So far, I at least know he's read my sloppy Japanese. I'll let you guys know if anything comes of it. I think the story of the show is interesting, but what I find more interesting is the people behind it. Many people who worked on the show went on to do more legendary things. Toshio Iwai, probably best known to the West for creating Electroplankton, used an Amiga to work on the titles for each of the 100 clips, and would later use the skills he learned on the show to create Terebi-kun and other 3D characters for the legendary kit show Ugo Ugo Ryuga, which I still want to do a video on. Tsunekazu Ishihara, who worked as a producer for the show, would later go on to form the gaming IP management company Ape, with Itoi Shigesato. Ape was created to plan and develop the Mother series. As mentioned earlier, Ishihara would later go on to be the CEO of the Pokemon company. Masaya Matsuura, who was in charge of the background music, would later go on to create the studio Nana Onsha, which would create the rhythm game Parappa the Rapper. There are probably others I'm missing, but needless to say, it was quite the gathering of minds and an interesting experiment. When doing this research, I saw a few comparisons of TV's TV to a 1987's version of YouTube. But frankly, I don't really see it. YouTube was originally about letting people upload videos of themselves, going to the zoo and stuff. It was amateur and interactive. The show of many different video clips is not really YouTube. It's more like just a playlist. I think probably a better candidate for a proto-YouTube would be America's Funniest Home Videos. I mean, for one, the videos had comments in the form of Bob Saget's commentary, and there was like an interactivity with the creators as they got interviewed by the host.
That was sweet, wasn't it?
Yes, definitely.
I'm glad we talked about it.
Of course, AFV was originally based off a segment in the Japanese TV show Kato-chan Kin-chan Gokigen Terebi that featured various funny home videos, which I've only seen a few segments, but I think it's the same as a playlist. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. There might be a show I'm missing out there, but at any rate, I guess you've seen the future now, and I'll see you next week. So, I'll bring the root beer and loneliness. Until then, thanks for watching.